So to report and think about and explain any president's decision-making process, I think is a way to understand their mind and evaluate what kind of president they would be if they're a presidential candidate and what kind of president they've been, right? Are they good decision makers? And if you do that for Donald Trump, what you're basically saying is, how does Trump's mind work? Hillary Clinton famously said about her husband, former President Clinton, that when he dies, people should study his mind. I think the same thing's true about Donald Trump. His mind is unique. The way he makes decisions is unique. And I've been reporting this out since I met him over a decade ago, two decades ago, really, and or a decade and a half, to be exact. And whenever I'm evaluating him when he ran for president, the first time, second time, third time, and as president, I'm always talking to people about how is that decision made? What went into it? And some of it you can observe. Now, my premise is the way Trump makes decisions is distinctive, and I'll walk you through why I think that. But it's also pretty effective. Now, I'm not here to endorse Trump or defend every decision he's ever made or he ever will make. He's made some bad ones, and he'll continue to. But I think he is underappreciated as a decision maker, better at it than his critics give him credit for being. And I think that even if you don't agree with his decisions, the way he makes them, the way he deals with them is suggestive of a pretty compelling process. And again, I'm not endorsing him, but I'm telling you, he decides in a way that is quite effective. And of late, of course, he's been on a roll. His decision to have U.S. Bomb Iran, the way he decided to do one reconciliation bill rather than two, when many of his party wanted to do two, that was a big decision. The tariff strategy, much derided, but by the view of some people, a very good decision, and we'll talk about that. All of those decisions, and many more, all that he's done as president, a product of this distinctive decision-making process. Now, if just on the face of it, you don't need to do a ton of reporting to know this, there are flaws in his decision-making process, and the chaos is often widely criticized, that there's too much chaos in how he does it. But it's also been discussed that the chaos is part of his process, particularly in dealing with foreign countries, where he's borrowed from Richard Nixon this notion of the Madman theory, that if people think Trump is so unpredictable, so capable of switching on a dime and doing anything, that it puts them off balance. So even the chaos, which is, I'd say, the thing that his decision-making process gets described as the most and criticized the most, there's something to that. There's something that works about how Trump makes decisions. If he ends up being a hugely successful president, I think a big part of it's going to be, of course, that he uses this distinctive process to make decisions, and he makes them well.